Hello and welcome back to the Percepta Leadership Series. I'm back and happy to be here with my co-host Meredith. And today we are joined with our newest member of our ELT or Executive Leadership Team, Youssef, Hannat, who will be looking after some operations here at Percepta. I'm not going to steal his thunder. I'm going to let him give a quick intro. Just want to thank everybody who has joined in and watched and followed along on this journey. It's been an awesome journey. Meredith, we've knocked out a whole bunch of our leadership teams. We have a whole lot more coming in 2023. So really looking forward to that and excited to be hosting this show with you. So Youssef, thank you for joining us. Welcome to Percepta. Welcome to the Percepta Leadership Series. Why don't you give our listeners or our viewers a quick rundown, who you are, where you're kind of coming from, and what you're going to be looking after while you're here at Percepta. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, thank you, Meredith, Kellen. Thanks for having me. So I joined, Percepta 6 weeks ago, and I come from the industry. So, my whole career has been evolving around contact centers, where I spent about 20 plus years. One thing that's unique, that I've done is I've worked in almost most continents. I started here in the U.S. I ran operations in North Africa, supporting French offshore and Middle East. I've worked in Europe, where I ran operations in the UK. I've also ran operations in Latin America, based out of Mexico. So that was kind of like, one of the great experiences that I had. And also I'm cross-functional. I started out in the finance department, early on in my career, and actually in operations finance, where I really got to know all of the mechanics of contact center and optimization and so on before I moved into operation. And I ended up also, doing human resources, but I ran HR for North America for one of the largest BPOs, about 16,000 employees, and then back into operations again. So kind of like been doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you're a jack of all trades. Well, now I know exactly why you're here. It makes sense. That's awesome. It's really, really cool.
Definitely an impressive background. One area that I read about in your background was that you spoke 3 different languages.
I do.
So what was Arabic, French, and obviously English, right?
Yes. So yeah, I'm fluent in French. I'm fluent in Arabic. So if you ever need me with any translations, I'll be here.
Well, I'm sure that came in handy, working internationally for sure. So
absolutely, yeah, it helps. It does help.
It's been 6 weeks since you started at Percepta. Let's talk about your onboarding experience. How was it, and how did that compare to other BPO companies you've been with?
Yeah, so I think what makes my onboarding experience unique is that before I started, so it's automated, right? So there's an automation through a system that kind of doing all of the follow-ups, right? And what I found that also unique is kind of like also asked me about like to upload, pictures about my family and so on, and things about me. So when I joined day one, I met with a group and everybody kind of already had their stories. And all of this was done through the system. And same thing happens with, our agents and everyone else, right? So when they come in the first day in the class, the same thing happens. After I joined, I had a dedicated kind of onboarding pal. And she really helped me navigate through all of the areas of the company. As you know, when you join, you have to know where everything is, system, and who does what. And so I had a kind of like a pal that was kind of helping me the whole time along the journey. And also, met with my boss, and she already had prepared a 90-day plan on here is what we're going to be doing the first 30 days. Here is what we're going to be doing after in the next 60 and 90 days and so on. And there are like checkpoints. So it's very well designed. It's very well organized. And there are check-ins, along the way. So I found that like, very, very, very unique, to Percepta. And it shows kind of the level of, organization that Percepta has. And also there has been great communication across the company. So wherever I go, right, I've never met someone who said, "Oh, excuse me, who are you?" Everybody knew, and so the communication was great as well.
Yeah, that's awesome, and that's good to hear. And we're happy to be part of the team that kind of helps at least navigate that a little bit, and we do some testing for that. So very cool. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about customer experience, because that's kind of our bread and butter here, and that's kind of what we do.
Yeah.
And specifically because you're going to be in operations, talk about how those two things kind of are intertwined. Give us like an overview of what customer experience means to you, and how does it directly relate or coordinate with operations?
Yeah, I think, operations, I think really is at the heart of the customer experience. And the reason I'm saying this is, our job is to tend to the customer queries. What are they calling us and resolving their issues? So one, we need to ensure that we deliver that, but most importantly, is ensuring, that we have the right people who are trained to do the job. So it starts with like really hiring the right people, training them right, and also ensuring that they are supported the right way. And also there are proactively, like, we're identifying, areas of challenges, and there is a great culture in place, and ensuring, that we are, always ahead of the curve. And I'm sure you've heard the saying, take care of your employees, they'll take care of your customers. So, when it comes to operations, it's really, this is what it all comes together. The hiring piece, the training piece, and then the operational piece, and ensuring that we continue to improve along the way, because it's a evolving thing. It changes every single day, and we always have to be ahead of the curve.
Yeah, you spoke about training and support for your employees, and you've been able to get your feet a little bit wet since you've started here at Percepta. So what would you say your vision and priorities are, and where do you see things improving in the next 6 months?
Yeah, so our big priorities are going to be, is on reducing the customer effort. And when we are, dealing with any interaction through whatever channel, how could we get the customer, whatever the inquiry on which, a customer is calling us, how can we get that resolved with very reduced effort to the customer, and get them what they want. But most importantly is a big focus on how can we be proactive in terms of resolving the customer issues, sometimes even without them having to reach out to us. So what it does, it increases customer satisfaction. It also reduces the number or the amount of contacts that we have to do. So it's kind of like a win-win for both, and also kind of automation. What are some of the things that we can do to make the customer service representative easier? As an example, when we're talking on the phone, and there are a lot of things that I have to do on the system, trying to look up information, trying to troubleshoot stuff, or whatever the thing that I'm doing, and how can I make it simpler also for our customer service reps to better serve our customers, which is all of it would lead to kind of reducing the customer efforts. So that's going to be a big focus for us, because not only it helps with customer satisfaction, it also helps with employee satisfaction. And we're going to be very, very focused on it as we go into next year.
Yeah, that's awesome. And actually, you mentioned one of our values there, proactive. So that's really great that you're using those values already, and that's going to be part of how you run your side of the business, which is awesome. Love to hear that. So being proactive in those things that you kind of mentioned, and helping with the customer interactions, how does this help our people, and what does that kind of mean for our clients looking forward?
Yeah, so being proactive, what it means is, one, sometimes as a customer, I'm resolving your issue proactively. Sometimes you might not even know that you have an issue. I mean, just imagine the level of satisfaction that would lead to. And so that's what we're trying to get to, is kind of really get, before the problem happens, try to get it resolved, and proactively, even reach out to our clients if needed. What it means to our employees is a lot more happier customers that they'll be talking to. It means that it's also less work for them, and it's simpler interactions that they have to deal with. So it's kind of like a win-win in all sides.
Definitely. I can see that. And yeah, it's really cool to hear this. Really exciting to have you on board and to kind of be leading the way with our values at the top of your mind. That's really great. It's gonna be really, really awesome. And looking forward to being part of your team and helping out however we can, and just being there to help support in any way that we can as well from the communication side. So.
Sure.
Youssef, thank you so much for joining us today. We know that coming to a new place and being busy, learning all the things, and trying to get going. And I'm sure your feet are not just wet. I'm sure you're diving in head first. So thank you for taking a few minutes to just join us today. Let people know that we're here, who you are, and to talk to our customers a little bit that might be watching us. So we thank you. We appreciate it, and we're happy to have you. So thank you and welcome. And just so that you don't feel too left out, we love to bring the new people on and talk about things. So we've done this with quite a few of our guests that had just started. So welcome to the club, and you're part of the team. We're happy to have you. So.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yes.
Yes,
it's our pleasure. And maybe what we'll end up doing is having a little bit of a follow-up later on next year, and just kind of see where we're at with everything. So we'll definitely
yeah, thank you.
Yes, to all of our viewers that have been watching this year, we appreciate you. Thank you for tagging along. Stay tuned, much more to come in the Percepta Leadership Series in 2023. Hope everybody has a fabulous rest of their day today and a great weekend. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.